Evolution is not a race. It does not reward speed, kindness, or intelligence. Evolution rewards only one thing: survival. Over more than 100 million years, entire dynasties of life rose and collapsed. Dinosaurs, giants that ruled the planet, vanished almost overnight. Mammals struggled, adapted, and slowly climbed to dominance. But through all this chaos, one lineage never tried to become bigger, faster, or smarter. It pursued perfection through refinement. That lineage is the legless hunter, the python. When you look at a python, you are not looking at something primitive. You are not looking at a leftover from the past. You are looking at a design that has already reached its optimal form. A biological machine so efficient that evolution itself had little left to improve. This is not an animal built for comfort or beauty. This is an organism engineered for inevitability. Let us begin where most nightmares are born, in the dark. For humans, darkness is absence. Absence of light, absence of information, absence of control. We panic because we cannot see. Lions, wolves, and birds of prey all depend on light reflecting off surfaces to interpret the world. But for a python, darkness does not exist. Along its upper and lower lips lie small, barely visible openings embedded between the labial scales. These are known as heat-sensing pits, and they grant the python what can only be described as a sixth sense. These pits detect infrared radiation, the natural heat emitted by warm-blooded animals. They are not simple sensors. They are biological thermal cameras. From several feet away, a python can detect a mouse hiding under leaves, a deer standing motionless, or a human breathing quietly. In the python's perception, prey is not a shape or a silhouette. It is a glowing heat signature pulsing with life against a cold background. It does not see your body. It sees your warmth. It sees your heartbeat moving through space. This ability is so precise that some species can detect temperature differences as small as 0.003 degrees Celsius. To put that into perspective, that is more sensitive than many man-made infrared devices. Long before humans dreamed of thermal vision, the python mastered it through biology alone. You cannot hide from something that sees heat itself. But sensing prey is only the beginning. Detection is useless without power, and power is written into every bone of the python's body. A human spine contains 33 vertebrae. This structure gives us balance, posture, and limited flexibility. A python, by contrast, possesses anywhere from 300 to over 400 vertebrae, each one connected to a pair of ribs. There is no rigid chest, no fixed torso. Instead, there exists a living chain, a flexible cage of muscle and bone that can bend, coil, compress, and expand in ways that defy human intuition. This is why a python moves like liquid. It can climb trees without limbs. It can swim rivers with no fins. It can compress itself into impossibly tight spaces and then explode outward with sudden force. Every movement is smooth, silent, and deliberate. There are no wasted motions, no hesitation. The entire body acts as a single coordinated weapon. And when the moment comes to strike, the body does not merely grab, it wraps. Contrary to popular belief, pythons do not kill by crushing bones. That myth understates their efficiency. What they actually do is far more precise and far more terrifying. When a python coils around its prey, it waits. It tightens its grip each time the prey exhales, preventing the lungs from re-expanding. Blood flow is rapidly restricted. Within seconds, the brain is deprived of oxygen. Unconsciousness follows quickly. Death arrives silently. This method is so effective that many prey animals die before they even realize they are being killed. The python does not rush. It does not panic. It does not need to. Time is on its side. Then comes the act that has fascinated and horrified humans for centuries: feeding. Early explorers believed snakes dislocated their jaws to consume large prey. Science revealed something far more elegant and far more alien. The python's lower jaw is not a single bone. It is split into two independent halves connected by extremely elastic ligaments. The skull itself contains specialized bones, including the quadrate bone, which functions like a rotating hinge. This allows the mouth to open not just wide, but outward. The head does not stretch around prey. It reconstructs itself around it. Through a process known as the pterygoid walk, the snake advances one side of its jaw at a time, gripping the prey with backward curving teeth and pulling it inward inch by inch. There is no chewing. There is no tearing. The prey is swallowed whole, enveloped completely, erased into darkness. A python with a head no larger than a melon can consume an animal the size of a full-grown goat. Gravity, size, and common sense do not apply here. But what allows such a massive body to move so silently? The answer lies in the scales. Each scale is composed of keratin, the same material found in human fingernails, but arranged with surgical precision. The overlapping pattern reduces friction in one direction while increasing grip in another. This allows the python to glide over rough terrain, mud, gravel, and vegetation without sound. No snapping branches, no scraping rocks, no warning. At the microscopic level, the texture of the scales even minimizes vibrations, making the snake nearly undetectable to prey that rely on ground-based sensing. It is camouflage not just of color, but of presence. A python does not announce itself, it arrives. When all these systems come together, thermal vision, skeletal flexibility, muscular strength, jaw mechanics, and silent movement, the result is not merely an animal, it is a biological god. An organism refined by millions of failed experiments, shaped by extinction events, environmental pressure, and relentless natural selection. Every weakness removed, every inefficiency erased. The python does not dominate ecosystems through intelligence or speed. It dominates through perfection of form. It is not fast, but it does not need to be. It is not aggressive, but it is unstoppable. It does not hunt often, but when it does, it never misses. This is evolution at its most unforgiving, and this is only the beginning. There is a word humans often use to make themselves feel safer: choking. We call the python a constrictor, and imagine that it kills by slowly suffocating its prey, cutting off air, waiting patiently for lungs to fail. It is a comforting myth. Suffocation sounds slow, manageable, almost merciful, but the truth uncovered in modern laboratories is far more violent and far more efficient. A python does not have the luxury of time. A large prey animal can kick, claw, or bite. One mistake, a broken rib, a torn eye, a deep wound, and the hunter becomes the hunted. Evolution does not tolerate hesitation. Therefore, the kill must be fast, decisive, and irreversible. This is not choking. This is biological shutdown. The attack begins with speed that the human brain cannot fully process. The strike, from stillness to impact, takes less than 50 milliseconds. Faster than a blink. Faster than conscious thought. The head launches forward, jaws opening wide as backward curving teeth punch into flesh. These teeth are not designed to slice or tear. They are designed to anchor. Once embedded, retreat is nearly impossible. And in the same instant the teeth lock in place, the coils arrive. There is no delay, no adjustment. The body follows the head like a living chain reaction. Muscle contracts with explosive force, wrapping the prey in layered loops of muscle, bone, and intent. At this moment, the laws of biology give way to the laws of physics. What follows is a phenomenon scientists now refer to as hydraulic shutdown. Using pressure sensors, heart monitors, and imaging technology, researchers observed something unexpected. Pythons are not guessing. They are not squeezing randomly. They are exquisitely sensitive to movement, pulse, and pressure. The python can feel the prey's heartbeat through its own skin. Each contraction of its muscles is informed by feedback, tiny changes in resistance, expansion, and collapse beneath its coils. The snake knows exactly how much force to apply and when to apply it. It does not waste energy. Every time the prey exhales, the coils tighten slightly more. Not dramatically, not visibly, but enough to prevent the chest from fully expanding again. This creates a one-way ratcheting system. Pressure increases step by step, never releasing, never easing. There is no recovery. There is no second chance. The numbers reveal the brutality of this system. A large python can exert pressures exceeding 25 pounds per square inch. That may not sound extraordinary until it is applied evenly across the chest, abdomen, and organs of a living animal. At this level of compression, something critical happens. The heart cannot function. Blood is no longer able to circulate normally. Veins collapse first, preventing blood from returning to the heart. Arteries soon follow. The heart continues to beat, but it is pumping against an immovable wall. This is circulatory arrest. Unlike suffocation, which can take minutes, circulatory arrest is devastatingly fast. Blood flow to the brain drops almost immediately. Oxygen delivery ceases. Neurons begin to fail. Loss of consciousness occurs in seconds, often before the prey fully understands what is happening. Humans often imagine predators as chaotic, biting, ripping, thrashing in a frenzy of violence. The python is the opposite. It is calm, silent, methodical. There is no roar, no snarl, no warning cry. The kill is quiet enough to go unnoticed just a few meters away. In dense forest or tall grass, animals can die without alerting others of the danger nearby. By the time fear spreads, the predator is already gone. And here lies the most unsettling truth. This is not cruelty. Cruelty implies intent, emotion, or malice. The python has none of these. What it possesses instead is optimization. A system stripped down to what works, and nothing else. No venom to produce, no claws to break, no complex strategies to calculate. Just pressure, applied perfectly. The physics of the grip is not merely a hunting technique. It is a reminder of what happens when nature removes inefficiency without mercy, when survival selects for outcomes rather than ethics. The python does not ask whether the prey deserves to die. It only asks one question: is the heart still beating? And when the answer becomes no, the coils release. The execution is complete. In the high grasses of the African savanna, a hierarchy exists. At the top of that hierarchy sits a symbol, golden, roaring, crowned by reputation and fear. The lion, the king of beasts. But power in nature is not always visible. It does not always roar. Beneath the grass, near watering holes where life gathers and vigilance fades, there exists a rival that does not recognize crowns, titles, or dominance displays. The African rock python. This is not merely a predator versus predator encounter. This is a collision of two evolutionary philosophies, two radically different solutions to survival. The lion is fire. The python is gravity. The lion represents speed, endurance, and social dominance. Its body is fueled by a high metabolism, warm blood, explosive muscle fibers. It hunts by daylight or twilight, relying on coordination, teamwork, and overwhelming force. Its claws are scalpels, its jaws are bone crushers. Its strategy is aggression refined by cooperation. The python is the opposite. It is cold-blooded, patient, economical. It can wait days, sometimes weeks, without movement. It does not need a pride. It does not need speed. Its power comes not from bursts of energy, but from mass and control. Where the lion burns calories by the hour, the python survives by conserving them. Two apex predators, two different definitions of dominance. When these two worlds intersect, the atmosphere changes. A lion approaching a watering hole is alert, but confident. It is used to prey, fleeing at its presence. Antelope scatter. Smaller predators retreat. Dominance is usually uncontested, but a 20-foot African rock python does not run. It does not growl. It does not bluff. It does not display submission. It waits. And this alone is enough to confuse the king. The lion's instinct is precise and ancient. Bite the neck. That is how lions kill. They clamp down on the throat, suffocating prey or severing critical blood vessels. Against antelope, buffalo, even giraffes, this method is brutally effective. But a python has no neck. Or rather, it is all neck. There is no single vulnerable point to target. No spinal column exposed beneath skin and fur. Instead, the lion's jaws meet dense muscle layered over bone, rib after rib, moving independently beneath the surface. The claws, designed to tear soft mammalian flesh, struggle to find purchase. Python skin is thick, elastic, armored by muscle rather than bone. Slashing attacks that would cripple another animal often slide or glance off with limited damage. In recorded encounters, lions frequently hesitate, circling, swiping, backing away. They are facing something that does not behave like prey. The python does not operate on a mammalian fight-or-flight response. It has no adrenaline spike, no panic threshold, no retreat impulse. Its protocol is simpler and far more dangerous. Defend, then consume. When threatened, the python coils. It forms a defensive spiral, head protected in the center, body acting as both shield and weapon. Every movement by the lion brings it closer to the coils, and the coils are the battlefield. If the python manages even 2 solid wraps around the lion's torso, the balance of power shifts instantly. A lion's strength is concentrated in specific systems: its jaws, forelimbs, and hind legs. These are weapons optimized for grappling and killing other mammals. A python's strength is distributed across its entire body. Every inch of muscle contributes. When it tightens everywhere at once. Scientific estimates suggest that a large African rock python can exert over 1,000 pounds of total compressive force when fully engaged. Unlike a bite or claw strike, this force is continuous and evenly distributed. The lion's ribs are strong, designed to withstand kicks from zebras or impacts during hunts. But they are not built to resist inward uniform compression. As the coils tighten, breathing becomes impossible, not due to lack of air, but due to circulatory collapse. Blood pressure drops. Oxygen delivery to muscles fails. Strength drains rapidly. The lion may roar, it may bite, it may thrash, but every movement costs energy it can no longer afford. There is documented footage of pythons holding their own against leopards, hyenas, and crocodiles, animals that, like lions, possess formidable weapons and instincts. Against a pride of lions, the python loses. Numbers overwhelm mass. Coordination defeats patience. But against a solitary lion, the outcome is uncertain. This is a gamble with death. If the lion fails to maintain distance, if it misjudges the reach of the coils, if it commits too deeply to a bite, there is no retreat. What makes this confrontation uniquely unsettling is the absence of dominance cues. Lions rely on psychological warfare, roars, postures, group displays. These tactics assert control before physical contact occurs. The python ignores all of it. It does not recognize authority. It does not respond to intimidation. It does not submit. To the python, the king is just warm meat that moves. This is why the encounter feels mythic. It is not just a fight between animals. It is a clash of elemental forces. The lion represents the power of the sun. Warm-blooded, active, fueled by constant energy intake. Its strength shines brightest in bursts. The python represents the power of the earth. Cold-blooded, patient, silent. Its strength lies in inevitability. Sunlight fades, earth remains.